This video is for AQA A-Level Business Studies and it's year 2 and it's considering the 25 mark question for paper 1. So to begin with, you always have an option of which question to pick. Now your consideration must be based on A, how confident you are with the topic, and B, how comfortable you are with how the question is phrased. The question might be designed in such a way where actually it's difficult to recognise how to structure it, and even a question where perhaps the topic is more complex, but the question itself is easier to interpret, then that should be chosen. Now, I've included the top level band from the mark scheme, and as you can see, to achieve 21 to 25 marks, your knowledge must be precise, so avoid mistakes. Be as technical as possible. Analysis should be well developed and offer balance, and you should apply it to realistic contexts. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be specific business examples, but at this stage, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do this. Clearly, the more you read, whether that's newspapers or whether that's, for example, just watching the news and trying to find out about the business environment, or what you've considered in class with regards to case studies, that should help you to be able to provide that application and apply it to real life situations. But actually, as long as you provide a good understanding of an industry and an industry example, you'll show the context that's needed. Now, your judgments should be built from your analysis, and it should directly answer what the question is asking. So, a reminder of the assessment objectives. This question will test all 4. And to get that top level, all 4 will need to be done to an excellent standard. So you've got AO1, AO2, AO3 and AO4. Now I've picked a question from the 2017 paper, and the command term is to what extent. So again, clearly a decision is needed within your evaluation. The context is a business with a record of poor innovation. And the focus is investment spending, but of course on innovation. So clearly, if you are picking this question, you should have excellent knowledge of 3.9.2. And again, by the time you sit in your exam, I'm sure the revision you'll have carried out, you will be prepared for any topic. Now, I would also recommend having industry and business examples of each topic to assist with that AO2. But just a reminder that AO2 links to the poor innovation of this company, this particular company, during the last couple of years. So as long as you actually refer back to that business, you'll be offering that good context. Now, the examiner report made these comments. And what's interesting, and I've just mentioned this in the previous slide, few students mention the context of a poor record of innovation. And this is so crucial to the analytical and evaluative points you should be making. And again, as the examiner states, without that, you won't be offering a good response, which will be limiting your chance to achieve the top level bands. Now, when I think of innovation, there's many firms that spring to mind, such as Toyota with their Kaizen techniques, Apple with their product offerings, Tesla with their electric revolution, and Alphabet with their diversification. Some of these, or some of the industries, such as the tech industry or the car industry, that could be used. Now, the mark scheme states the following, and feel free to pause the video at any time and read the information. But as you can see, R&D is key. Kaizen, benchmarking, entrepreneurship, they could all be used. However, balance is needed, and you need that counter argument. So to begin with, let's introduce the answer with AO1 and a definition of innovation. So innovation is about putting a new idea or approach into action. Innovation is commonly described as the commercially successful exploitation of ideas. Now, what I've done is I've made a model answer to show how context could be made to provide direction and evidence to your analytical arguments. I know the font is small on the screen, so what I have done is I've copied and pasted the whole answer and I've put it in the description on YouTube. But notice what I've highlighted in red, mentioning the particular business. So again, feel free to pause the video and read the information. but I've also included balance. And again, I've referred to the business having that poor record of innovation. And what I've mentioned is investment in innovation, it doesn't always guarantee success. And actually spending can be done terribly. And the innovation is not needed and not wanted by the customer. Or I've actually said that firms can innovate without spending. And it could be the culture that they've created. So far I've used examples of Toyota and Apple. And in doing so, I've considered those more technical industries. Now, the mark scheme provides some evaluative consideration, and I personally believe that the evaluation is the hardest skill. However, a phrase that I do really like and I look out for in judgments and evaluations is "it depends upon." As what that does, it enables weight, and it helps to offer a greater outlook on all businesses being in different situations. So again, this is my judgment, and I've signposted to the examiner that this is the judgment just to make their jobs easier when assessing the AO4.